Zara wandered through the quiet corridors of the ancient library as dusk settled outside. Each footstep echoing against high shelves laden with forgotten books. As each was chasing the faint hum she had heard earlier, a soft vibration as to the air, each leaf was alive. The library's center chamber held a massive wooden table where one dusty tome sat open, its page turning themselves in a gentle breeze that sh realized had no source. A candle flickered at the edge of the table, casting dancing shadows that seemed to form shapes, a tall figure in a hood, an outstretched hand, and then a sudden flash of silver light. Before Zara could react, the page stopped turning, and a whisper broke the hush. "You found the threshold." The room shifted, books fluttered, chairs slid aside, and the walls seemed to breathe. Zara felt the ground tilt slightly, and in that moment sh recognized the hum ocean inside her. It was summoned by the book. The whisper came again. "Will you cross?" Taking a deep breath, Zara reached toward the open page. As her fingers touched the parchment, the candle's flame jumped into life and exploded into thousands of sparks. Sh fell backward onto the floor, eyes shut, and when sh opened them again sh was standing in a vast starlit meadow under a midnight sky. The library vanished behind her. A distant figure appeared, a silver-haired fox, glowing faintly by moonlight. It bowed as though it had awaited her arrival. The whisper echoed around. "Beyond the threshold you carry the weight of choice." The fox offered up, and alongside it Zara saw an ancient key, its metal shimmering with constellations. Sh realized the book had transported her not only through space, but through possibility. With a steady voice sh said, "I accept the journey," and placed her hand on the key's handle. The meadow shifted, the stars swirled, and the hush deepened into promise. Whichever world sh would walk next, sh now held its gate. The stars folded into spirals, and Zara felt herself drawn upward, weightless, through ribbons of silver light. When her feet touched ground again, sh stood on the edge of a cliff overlooking an endless sea, black as ink, yet shimmering with faint golden ripples that pulsed like heartbeats. The key in her hand vibrated, guiding her gaze toward a lighthouse far in the distance. Its light flickered weakly, struggling against a storm rolling in from the horizon. The fox appeared beside her, tail swinging like a metronome of time. The lightkeeper awaits, it said, voice like wind over broken glass. Zara could see the storm clouds forming shapes, faces, whispers, memories, her own fears reflected in them. Each lightning flash brought her closer to Trates sh wasn't ready to see. Sh asked softly. The fox tilted its head. "Because you still remember the melody of hope," it answered. The key pushed again, brighter this time, and the sea below began to rise, waves forming a spiraling path toward the flickering tower. Without hesitation, Zara stepped forward. The waves held her like a bridge of music, carrying her toward the lighthouse that waited, half in ruin, half in light. The wind howled as Zara reached the steps of the lighthouse, its massive door trembling against the storm's rush. Sh pressed the key into the lock. It resisted at first, then turned with a click that echoed like thunder. Inside, the air smelled of salt and rust, and the walls were lined with faded portraits of former lightkeepers, their eyes painted with sorrow and flame. The spiral staircase rose upward into shadows that flickered with the dying beam above. The fox padded in behind her, silent but alert. Every keeper leaves a piece of their soul within the flame, it murmured. Yours may be the last. As Zara climbed, the storm outside intensified. Through narrow windows, lightning flashed over the ocean, revealing ghostly ships drifting in the distance, vessels trapped between worlds, their lanterns extinguished. When sh reached the top, sh found the great lantern cracked. Its glass webbed with fractures, the source of light dim and trembling. At its center lay an hourglass filled not with sand, but with glowing dust that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. The moment her fingers brushed its surface, visions surged through her mind, the library, the meadow, the endless sea, all threads of one vast song. The fox's voice came softly behind her. "The light can't heal the storm, it said. But it can remember what the storm forgets. Zara lifted the harglass. The final grayness of light began to fall, and the sea outside started to sing. The song rose from the ocean like a thousand voices woven into one, ancient, sorrowful, and beautiful beyond measure. The lighthouse trembled as the melody reached its peak, shaking loose years of dust and despair. The cracked glass of the lantern glowed brighter, and the fractures began to knit together, sealing themselves with streets of gold light. Zara felt the harglass grow warm in her hands, the final grayness swirling upward instead of down. Outside, the storm faltered. The waves calmed as to listening. In their reflection, Zara saw not her face, but countless hours, light keepers across time, each guarding hope in their own era, their own storms. SH realized then that the flame SH carried wasn't meant to banish darknesses, but to guide those lost within it. The fog slipped onto the railing, its sphere rippling with silver sparks. You've restored the memory of the sea, it said. But every light demands its keeper. Zara looked toward the horizon, where dawn tried to break through the last of the clouds. Her heart ached with understanding. Then we'll keep it, SH whispered. The harglass dissolved in her grasp, its glow streaming into the lantern. The lighthouse flared alive, sending a single, powerful beam slicing through the retreating night, a light that carried every story, every soul, every song home. The fox smiled, bowed on us, and vanished into the shimmer, leaving Zara standing alone, no longer lost, but luminous. For a long moment, the world was silent except for the low hum of the rekindled flame. The beam stretched endlessly across the horizon, reaching shores unseen, carrying whispers of hope to those who had forgotten the light. Zara stood at the window, her reflection rippling in the glass, half human, half radiant glow. The lighthouse no longer seemed like stone and steel, but something alive, breathing in rhythm with the ocean below. Then, faintly, SH heard footsteps on the stairs. Slow, echoing, not the fox, not the wind, turning, SH saw a figure cloaked in shadow rise from the spiral below, tall, graceful, and holding a lantern that burned with the same golden fire as her own. You answered the call, the figure said, voice calm as the tide. Few were do, who are you? Zara asked. I was the keeper before the storm forgot my name, the figure replied, lowering the lantern. Its light revealed kind, weary eyes. Every flame chooses who will follow. You kept it alive. Now it will keep you. The lantern's glow touched Zara's hands, and warmth flooded her chest. SH understood. SH was no longer just a wanderer who stumbled upon magic. SH was bound to it now, part of an unbroken chain of guardians. Outside, the waves bowed to the shore. The first rays of morning painted the sea gold. The figure smiled faintly. When the next storm comes, they'll find your light. And as the dawn claimed the night, Zara took her place by the window, the new keeper of the endless flame. Days passed, too. Time in the lighthouse felt different, fluid, like water moving around stones. Zara explored every corner of the tower, each still revealing secrets left behind by the lightkeepers before her. Journals filled with sketches of constellations that had never existed, maps of shifting seas, and melodies sculpted in delicate crystals that hummed softly when touched. SH realized that the lighthouse wasn't just a beacon for hours, it was a library of experience, memory, and courage, waiting for a keeper who could listen. One evening, as the sky burned with streaks of violet and amber, the fox returned, fading in from the edge of the horizon. Its eyes glimmered with mischief and warmth. The flame remembers, it said simply. Do you? Zara held her hands to her chest, feeling the pulse of the light within. I remember, SH whispered. Every fear, every hesitation, every song of hope SH had heard along her journey, each one resonated inside her. The lighthouse seemed to respond, the beam stretching farther, brighter, as to acknowledging her woe. The fox circled her on us, then vanished with a soft law that merged into the wind. Alone, yet not lonely, Zara climbed the spiral staircase to the lantern room. SH looked down at the world beneath, Storm clouds fly away, the sea now calm, villages lighting their own fires in gratitude to a beacon tea cold and sea. A tacht stirred inside her, the lighthouse didn't just shine to guide, it shone because someone believed in the light. And now, as each did too, that night, the stars above the lighthouse seemed to pulse in rhythm with the beam, as if the heaviness themselves were in conversation with the flame. Zara leaned against the railing, listening to the gentle crash of waves below and the whispers of the wind carrying distant, familiar melodies. As each realized the light was more than a guide, it was a song, one that connected every lost soul, every storm withered, and every hope kept alive. A sudden shimmer caught her eye. From the sea, ships began to rise, vessels of every kind, small fishing boats, grand ships, even phantom vessels from forgotten eras. Their lanterns flickered weakly, some nearly extinguished. The beam of the lighthouse stretched out to them, wrapping each ship in golden light, pulling them back from darknesses. Zara's heart swelled with purpose. It is not just the storm we calm, as H. murmured to herself. It is the honest lost in it. From the shadows of the lantern room, the fox appeared again, tail swishing like a brush across a canvas of night. And the storm never truly ends, it said softly, but neither does the light. Zara nodded, lifting her hands toward the lamp. The flame responded, flaring higher, warmer, reaching farther than ever before. In that moment, S.H. understood her role fully, S.H. wasn't merely guarding the light. S.H. was its voice, its heartbeat, its keeper. And as the night carried on, S.H. sang silently with it, a melody for every soul waiting to find their way home. The following days brought a rhythm to Zara's life, watching, listening, and tending the flame. Each morning, the lighthouse welcomed the sun, and each night, it cast its unwavering beam across the dark sea. But one evening, as a violet mist rolled in from the horizon, the light flickered strangely, as though struggling against an unseen weight. Zara hurried to the lantern, gripping the railing tightly. The fox appeared silently, its fur bristling with static energy. A shadow approaches, it warned. Not of this world, yet drawn to the flame. Through the mist, shapes emerged, figures clacked in darknesses, their movements fluid and unnatural. They whispered debates, fears, and regrets in voices that sounded like echoes of her own. The lighthouse trembled, the beam dimming in response. Zara's heart pounded, but S.H. lifted her chin, remembering every step of her journey, the library, the meadow, the storm, the Harglass. I am its keeper, S.H. called, her voice carrying over the waves. And no shadow can claim it. The Harglass within her mind pushed in rapidly, and the lantern flared with a golden intensity that pushed the figures back. The mist evaporated, revealing the calm sea once more. The fox circled her, eyes gleaming with pride. Courage, it said, is the lightest true power. Zara looked out at the horizon, feeling the weight of the storm, the shadow, and the endless possibilities ahead. S.H. realized then that being a keeper was not only about guiding others, it was about facing the darknesses within herself, every single day. And for the first time, S.H. felt truly unshakable. Morning came with a serene hush. The sea glittered like a field of scattered jewels, and the horizon seemed endless, full of promise. Zara stood at the lantern room, the warm light of the beam batting her face, feeling the heartbeat of the lighthouse resonate through her. S.H. had faced storms, shadows, and doubt, and each time, the light had answered. Each time, S.H. had answered back. The fox appeared one last time, its silver fur gleaming in the rising sun. The flame remembers all who come before and all who will follow, it said softly. You are part of that eternal song now. Zara nodded, a smile touching her lips. S.H. felt the pulse of the Harglass within her, the invisible thread connecting every moment of courage, every act of hope, every spark of light across time. S.H. knew that journey would never truly end, that storms would rise and shadows would return, but S.H. was ready. With a deep breath, S.H. stepped to the edge of the lighthouse balcony, arms open to the wind. The beam stretched farther than ever, touching every distant shore, every lost vessel, every heart-seeking guidance. The lighthouse was no longer just a place, it was a promise, and as such, it was its living keeper. The fox vanished into the morning light, leaving Zara alone, but not lonely. Alone in purpose, alone in courage, and alive with the power of the flame. And as the world awakened beneath the lighthouse's glow, as each whispered into the wind, I will keep the light. Always.